You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Friday, February 21st, 2025. Good evening. I'm Chris Palermo, and here is what's happening. A Las Vegas woman has been charged with open murder with a deadly weapon after allegedly running over her victim, and News 25 has the details.
In the early hours of February 20th, 2025, a tragic accident unfolded at the intersection of West Sahara Avenue and South Valley View Boulevard. At approximately 2:09 a.m., Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Communications received a call reporting a collision between a vehicle and a pedestrian. Upon arrival, patrol officers found a male victim lying in the roadway. Medical personnel quickly transported him to UMC Hospital, where he was later pronounced deceased. Given the severity of the incident, the LVMPD Fatal Detail responded to investigate the circumstances surrounding the crash. Detectives determined that the victim had been struck by a white GMC truck, which fled the scene. Further investigation revealed that the collision was intentional, following a brief interaction between the victim and the suspect. As a result, Fatal Detail detectives contacted the homicide section, which took over the case. Homicide detectives identified 24-year-old Mariana Armenta Jeriqui as the suspect responsible for the deadly incident. She was subsequently taken into custody and booked into the Clark County Detention Center on charges of open murder with a deadly weapon.
And more news now. A woman with ties to Las Vegas has been arrested on federal charges after reportedly stealing nearly $3 million from one man in a dating site scam.
A woman with ties to Las Vegas has been arrested on federal charges after allegedly drugging men she met on dating sites and stealing their money and personal information, with some victims reportedly dying as a result of her actions, federal officials announced Friday. Aurora Phelps, age 43, faces federal charges relating to several incidents occurring between 2019 to 2022, according to Las Vegas FBI Division and the U.S. Attorney's Office. Investigators believe Phelps targeting men primarily in their 60s and 70s whom she allegedly drugged before gaining access to their financial accounts. Several of the victims resided in the Las Vegas Valley. Phelps was arrested by Mexican authorities and is currently awaiting extradition to the United States. A federal indictment filed in Las Vegas names 4 victims, with authorities describing this scheme as a romance scam on steroids. In one instance, Phelps is accused of attempting to liquidate over $3 million in a victim's stock account. It remains unclear if Phelps will be extradited to face charges in the U.S. The FBI is urging anyone with information about this case to visit the website they set up for this investigation or to submit tips by calling 800-CALL-FBI. This is a developing story and will be updated as more information becomes available.
Well, okay, the Board of County Commissioners voted to approve a grant for residents who fall below the federally designated poverty level. During the meeting, the community repeatedly asked, where is all this money coming from? And News 25 has this story.
At the recent Board of County Commissioners meeting, the board voted to accept a grant of $11,666.67 for 2025 from the Nevada Housing Division's Welfare Set-Aside Program. The funding will be used to provide rental, utility, and security deposit assistance for eligible clients whose income fall below the federally designated poverty level. During the meeting, several community members spoke during public comment.
What we're trying to find out is where all the money goes, because when they get the money, almost all of it goes towards personnel and office. And I just want to make sure that this money is actually helping the individuals. We say we're going to give them money for housing, but how many people have gone out and just spent time doing whatever they say is their work, and it comes out being administrative? how much money actually goes to the individual that needs help with their rent.
Where is all this money coming from that we're throwing into all of these programs? And I know part of it was grants, and that's probably going to end. So I don't know what's going to happen to all these people that are expecting their rent to be paid every month, or their gas bill, or whatever else. But where are we getting all of this money? Okay, this says Affordable Housing Welfare Set-Aside Program. Where is that program? Is that something here? Is that something coming from our federal government?
Did it come from USAID? We all found a lot of waste there. You guys approved stuff for HUD housing. You guys approved stuff even in December. A lot of money was going out that Biden was actually pushing out the door. And then they just found, what, $22 billion? Okay? For waste? I would research this a little bit more before you guys actually approve something and get more research on it.
Health and Human Services Director Corinne Smith also spoke during this item.
This is a grant that we have been applying for the last 6 years. It comes from Nevada Housing Division, and none of the funds go to Nye Communities Coalition. These are all funds that stay directly in my department. None of them are pay any administrative fees at all. It goes strictly to the clients who are in need of help with assistance with their rent, utilities, maybe a rental deposit. It can also assist with the homeless prevention program by being another source for us to pay their rent or utilities while we're case managing and getting them back on their feet also. All our programs are strictly there in order to case manage, help them learn their budget, help them figure out where they're needing assistance, and hopefully to prevent them from being out on the street due to an unforeseen circumstance.
The board later voted 5-0 on this item.
So I would like to make a motion to approve consent agenda items 12.1, 12.2, and 12.3.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor and a second. If there's nothing further, I'm going to call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Boscovich, aye. That motion carries 5-0.
And our reporter on the ground in Las Vegas, Maria Centers, has the latest news on Donald Trump and the CPAC convention happening. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
And welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. This year's Conservative Political Action Conference is running strong and has been packed with proud patriots commemorating the past month. Our News 25 Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers now joins us from Old Las Vegas with the latest from the yearly event.
Just after returning from his first European tour of diplomacy in official capacity as the Vice President of the United States of America, J.D. Vance headlined this year's Conservative Political Action Conference that runs until tomorrow. Now let's dive into some leading remarks from the Vice President himself during the annual gathering being held in National Harbor, Maryland, just outside of Washington, D.C.
It is easy, unfortunately, to burn the house down. It takes a little bit of time to build it back up. And here's what we have to do. Because look, the fundamental goal of our immigration policy, of our border policy, of DOGE saving taxpayer money, the fundamental goal is we want your children and grandchildren to be able to raise a family in security and comfort in the country that we all love. That is the whole goal of President Trump's agenda.
CPAC is the nation's oldest conservative grassroots organization, advised to preserve and protect the values of life, liberty, and property for every American.
We have got to stop spending the American people's money on garbage. Every dollar that we take in and spend, you have to pay for, either through taxes or through inflation. And if we spend the American people's money more wisely, if we stop taxing and spending the American people to death, that's also going to bring relief to all of the pricing pressures that are out there. We're going to make it affordable to live in this country again. That's our mandate. That's our goal.
J.D. Vance addressed an energetic CPAC exactly 1 month after being sworn in as the Vice President of the United States.
Everything the president has done on the border, we have got to empower him to do it, not just for a month, but for the next 4 years. And we've got to hire more Border Patrol agents. We got to give Tom Homan and Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem the resources they need to secure the border. Why are we taking the people's Social Security payments and giving it to illegal aliens? We know that's happening in the United States of America today. We've got to stop it. Get illegal aliens out of our country, make sure American tax dollars go to American people. That is how you solve the fiscal crisis in the United States of America.
President Donald J. Trump is expected to speak at this year's annual conference this Saturday, February 22nd.
President Trump, what makes him such an effective negotiator, I've seen this in private, is that he doesn't take anything off the table. When he walks into negotiation, he says everything is on the table. And of course, that makes the heads explode in the American media because they say, why are you talking to Russia? Well, how are you going to end the war unless you're talking to Russia? You've got to talk to everybody involved in the fighting if you actually want to bring the conflict to a close.
We'll be sure to cover U.S. President Donald J. Trump's 2025 CPAC address. Reporting from Clark County and shooting it back over the hump to Pahrump, I'm Maria Centers for News 25 Las Vegas.
Thank you very much, Maria. Have a great weekend. And here's Mikey to tell us what's cooking this Sunday morning on Classic Country Breakfast on Ace Country Radio and streaming on Channel 25.8 and now on the new Ace Country Radio app.
Howdy. When I'm out milking the pistachios, I like to take the Ace Country Radio app with me. You can too. Download it today. It's free. On the menu this week on Classic Country Breakfast, born on February 18th, Juice Newton will celebrate her. On February 21st, 1958, Merle Haggard was transferred to San Quentin Prison after a failed escape attempt from Bakersfield Jail. We'll look back on that. Born on February 21st, Mary Chapin Carpenter will celebrate her. In the Not an Oldie But a Goodie segment, we'll hear a new song by friend of the show, Allie Colleen, called Rolling Stone Sincerely. Also, a very great new band calls the show. They're called The Mellows. They talk about their classic sound in a modern world. Classic Country Breakfast this Sunday morning at 8 on Ace Country Radio, streaming at Channel 25.8, and now on the new Ace Country Radio app.
All right, weather and sports all coming up. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Well, in sports, Mikey has a report on the UNLV Rebels, and the New York Yankees had some earth-shattering news today.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Four Nations Face-Off Championship game took place on Thursday. Canada versus Team USA, first period Canada. In the USA zone, Nate McKinnon from Up Ice. 1-0 Canada. Bring it in, hey? Still in the first period, Austin Matthews with the wraparound. Brady Tkachuk knocks it home. USA. Second period, Team USA in Canada zone. Werenski shoots, rebound. Matthews, Jake Sanderson from the Ottawa Senators puts USA ahead. America. Still in the second period, Canada on the attack. Sam Bennett ties it up. No scoring in the third period. Buckle up, we're headed to overtime. 3-on-3, the best player in the world, Connor McDavid, gets the game winner for Canada. Group hug. Among those taking home the first ever tournament trophy for Canada were Golden Knights captain Mark Stone, goalie Aiden Hill, defenseman Shea Theodore, and head coach Bruce Cassidy. Vegas Golden Knights back to the regular season tomorrow against the Vancouver Canucks. The Las Vegas Aviators are prepping for an exciting season of full baseball fun and giveaways. On Thursday, the team announced its upcoming Aces Night, set to take place when the Aviators take on the AAA affiliates of the San Francisco Giants, the Sacramento River Cats, on Friday, April 4th. Before the game, the first 2,000 fans will receive an exclusive Aviators x Aces basketball jersey. For nearly 50 years, the New York Yankees had a clean-shaving policy. On Thursday, Yankees owner Hal Steinbrenner announced that the team has amended its famous facial hair policy, now allowing players to sport well-groomed beards. I bet you Johnny Damon's upset, although Aaron Judge looks good. The Mountain West unveiled its 2025 football schedule on Thursday. Dan Mullen and the UNLV Rebels will kick off their season on August 30th against Sam Houston. His first home game will be at Allegiant Stadium on September 6th against UCLA. Pahrump Valley Trojan boys basketball are taking part in the state tournaments. That goes on till Saturday, February 22nd. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
All right, thank you very much, Mikey. This afternoon, the Nye County Sheriff's Office escorted the 4-H Robotics Club and the Trojan Horse through town as they headed to Las Vegas for the state championship. News 25 has the details.
The 4-H robotics team, Awkward Silence, along with Pahrump Valley High School's Trojan Horse, are on their way to Las Vegas for the state championship. Shortly after 2 p.m. today, the Nye County Sheriff's Office showed their support by escorting the teams through town with lights and sirens. Upon arrival at Meadows High School, both teams will undergo inspection. Tomorrow, they will compete in qualification matches, followed by playoff matches and the award ceremony. You can stream the event live at www.twitch.tv/First Nevada.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Lerner and Rowe Weather Cam here in Pahrump, actually on the other side of Mount Charleston. And, well, if you're going to be out hiking like these folks here this weekend, make sure you hydrate because we are maybe hitting 80 degrees. Miss Roselle has your forecast coming up.
Good evening, Nevada. My name is Rory Rosell, coming to you from the Channel 25 Weather Studios and taking a look at Nevada right up in northern Nevada. Fernley seeing 54 degrees. Fallon and Carson City are both seeing 55. Tonopah at 50. Goldfield 1 degree higher at 51. Beatty seeing 62. Amargosa seeing 66. Las Vegas 2 degrees lower at 64. And Death Valley seeing 77 degrees. But here in the beautiful paradise of Pahrump, we are currently seeing 63 degrees again. The high today just a little while ago was 65. It was sunny today. Wind blowing north-northeast at 7 miles per hour. Humidity 14%, and the sun rose this morning at 6:23 and sets in just a few minutes at 5:31 p.m. The humidity raises up to 30%, and the wind continues to blow east-northeast at 8 miles per hour. The low tonight's going to be 39 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. We are going to be seeing our 80s next week, just like how we all wanted. But tomorrow it looks like it's going to be a little bit colder at 69 degrees. But on Sunday, we jump back up into the 70s at 74, seeing 78, a lot on the board actually. On Monday, we're seeing 78, 81 and 80 on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then back down into the 70s at 78 on Thursday and Friday again. Make sure to enjoy this next warm week. Back to the desk, here's Chris.
All right, thank you, Miss Roselle. Well, that looks terrific. I know you want to be outdoors this weekend, but we have an idea for you. If you have some talent, or at least try, auditions happening tomorrow night. County Commission Coalition. They're right here in Pahrump, and they will be looking for musicians and singers and comedians. Go on down there tomorrow. That is the 22nd, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2. And there is a talent show at the Saddle West on March 22nd. And tell them KPVM News TV sent you there. That'll just about do it for all of us here tonight. Chris Palermo, make it a great weekend.